Hi, this is Miss Park. This video is about the sine law. And the sine law is a tool that we use in trigonometry when we do not have a right angle triangle. So you'll recall that when you have a right angle triangle, we use SOHCAHTOA. When we don't have a right angle triangle, we can't use SOHCAHTOA because we don't have a hypotenuse. And so this is the first of two tools that we will use. Okay, so with the sine law, there's a formula to know. And the formula is based on how we label the triangle in terms of the letters of the angles. So let's say I call this triangle ABC. Okay, then we label the sides that are across from the angle with the same letter but not capital. So across from big A is this side little a. Across from big B is this side little b. Across from big C is this side little c. So I can see in this triangle ABC that I have here, angle B is 67 degrees, angle C is 41 degrees, angle A I don't know, and little a is the length of side BC, I don't know it. Little b is the length of side AC, I don't know it. Little c is the side of AB, the length of AB, which is 10. Right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to use the sine law to find a missing side. So let's say I want to find the side B. Okay, this is the one I want to find. The sine law has a formula that looks like this. If you take the sine of any angle and divide it by the length of the opposite side, like this, that's going to equal to the sine of any other angle divided by the length of its opposite side. So the ratio of the sine of an angle to the length of the opposite side is always equal in triangle. Okay, so this is the sine law and this is the formula to know. Okay, and so in this video, I'll be showing you how to use this formula and also we'll do a word problem. Okay, so let's say I want to find angle little b. I'm going to use the formula. So what do I have? I have the 67 degrees, so I have big B. I have big C and I have little c. So notice how the A's are not involved in this question. So instead of using all three parts of this ratio, I really only need to use one. So I'm going to use sine B over B equals sine C over C. You can never solve this equation with three parts. You have to pick two parts to work with. So let's put in the numbers that I have. So sine 67 degrees divided by little b equals sine 41 degrees divided by 10. Notice how you always write the formula first before you start putting in values. This is an easy way to catch mistakes, so that's always good practice. Once I have a proportion statement like this, I have a fraction equals a fraction, I can do the cross multiplication. So b sine 41 degrees equals 10 sine 67 degrees. Now, sine 41 is just a number from a calculator, and so is sine 67. So I have b times a number equals some number. So in order to get rid of the sine 41, I simply divide both sides by sine 41, and that gives me just a b on the left-hand side. And I'm not putting any of this into the calculator until the very last step, which is now. So b equals. So at this point, I'm going to take my calculator. I'm literally going to type it in the way it looks. 10 sine. I'm doing it now as I doing this video. 10 sine 67 divided by. Now, if you have a fraction button, you can use it. I don't like fraction buttons. I use division. So I'm going 10 sine 67 divided by sine 41, and I get approximately 14. It's actually 14.03. But I get approximately 14, whatever the units is. And so now I've solved for this missing side. Okay. Let's do the same example now. I have the same triangle, but now I'm going to solve for a different side. So I'll label it exactly the same way. This is big A, this is big B, and this is big C. Last time we solved for little b. This time let's solve for little a. Okay, so I want to set up the sine law, and I want to solve for little a. But what do I have? I have big C, I have little c, right? I got that. But I don't have big A. And remember that when we do the sine law, we need the angle and the side across from it, okay, in order to set up the ratio. But I don't have the angle across from little a. So what can I do? Right? So for this example, what I'll do is I can actually easily calculate the angle across from little a, because this angle A is equal to 180 degrees minus the other two angles. Okay, so I can actually get this. And so this is going to be 180 minus 67 minus 41, which is 72 degrees. Okay, so now by putting in 72 degrees into here, I actually have my four things, and I've got a side and an angle. I've got the angle and a side across from it given to me. So the C's I can use because those are both given to me. So I've got angle big C and the side across from little c, that's given to me. Sorry, the side across from it, which is little c, that's given to me. And now with the A's, I have the angle across, and I'm looking for the little a. So let's put in the numbers. Sine 41 degrees over 10 equals sine 72 degrees over little a, cross multiply, and so on. Okay, just like the example above. And you'll recall that solving a triangle, like if you're asked to solve a triangle, means finding all the missing sides and angles. So with this one, we've just found the two sides, and we found this missing angle A. So really, we have solved the triangle. Okay, we've just done it in 2 steps. Okay, let's do one example where there's an angle that's unknown. So I'm going to use the same triangle, but I'm not going to give all the angles. So let's go, this is 10, so this is triangle ABC. Actually, you know what? Let's call it something else. Let's call it PQR so we can have fun with the letters. So let's say I give you this angle, and then I give you this angle we said was 67 degrees, and I'll give you this one, I don't know, let's call it 25. And now I'm asking what's this angle. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up the sine law, and we're going to look at what do I have and what's involved. So I have angle big Q, I have side little q, I have side little r, and I'm looking for angle big R. So that actually works because I'm given a side and an angle across from each other, and now I have enough information for the sine law. So I'm going to set up a sine law. Sine big Q over little q equals sine big R over little r. Okay, and let's put in the numbers. So sine 67 degrees over 25 equals sine big R over 10. Now notice that it's the angle that I'm looking for, right? So angle is unknown. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now we're going to cross multiply. I'm going to get 25 sine R equals 10 sine 67. And then I want to isolate this R, but the R is stuck inside a sine. So I've got to leave it like this. So sine R equals, and divide both sides by 25. Okay, so I'm dividing this. And notice I'm putting nothing in the calculator until the very, very end. So sine R is equal to 10 sine 67 degrees over 25, right? I've put nothing in the calculator. And now we know from when we worked with SOHCAHTOA that if we have the sine of an angle and we know the number, right? 10 sine 67 divided by 25 is just a number. Then to get the angle that we don't know, we just unsign or reverse the sign, or we call it inverse, sine inverse. So at this point, this is sine inverse of this number that's in here. And I still have not put anything into the calculator until now. So now in my calculator, I'm going to go sine inverse, right? So that's either second function or shift. It'll, if it doesn't open a bracket for you, you'll need to open a bracket. And then in the bracket, you'll go 10 sine 67 divided by 25, close the bracket, and see what you get. So I'm going to do that now. My calculator does not open the bracket, so I will put in a bracket. 10 sine 67 divided by 25, close the bracket, and I get 21.6 degrees, approximately 21.6 degrees. And I know it's degrees because it's an angle that I'm looking for. So now we've used the sine law to find missing side and missing angle. Let's do a quick word problem. So let's do this question 3. 2 observers are standing on a shore half a mile apart at points A and B. Okay, 2 observers are standing on a shore half a mile apart at points A and B. So let's put 0.5 miles. Okay, They measure the angle to a sailboat at point C at the same time. So let me put the sailboat over here at point C. And so they measure the angle to the sailboat at the same time. Angle A is 63 degrees. Angle B is 56 degrees. Find the distance from each observer to the sailboat. So really what they want is they want us to find little b and they want us to find little a. All right, so let's study this, what's given to us. So let's do one at a time. Let's say I want to find little a first. So for little a, I have big A, which is great, that's useful, but I need to fill in the other fractions. So either I need to be given big B and little b, or I need to be given big C and little c. But I see that I'm not given either of those two pairs. So what can I do? Well, this is like that example that we just did before, where we can easily calculate angle C, right? This one can be easily calculated as 180 minus 63 minus 56. So that is 180 minus 63 minus 56, which is 61 degrees. Okay, and so now that I have the 61 degrees, I can put that in there, and now I have my side and angle given to me, so I can set up the other fraction. So I'm going to use the c's. Okay, and then put all my numbers in there. So sine 63 degrees over little a equals sine 61 degrees over 0.5, and cross multiply and get my a. Okay, so hope that was helpful. Please practice, and thanks for watching.